The public protector. Your 5 minutes starts now.
Okay. I think I qualify based on my experience and my qualifications, and also based on the fact that I'm fit and proper person, and I am the position that I'm holding now. I am a presiding officer. I uphold the law. I'm accountable, and I exercise my duties without fear, favor, and prejudice. And I uphold the Constitution and the law. And when I look at my profession and I look at the profession of public protector, I don't see much difference. The only difference is that the public protector deals with the matters that are outside the court or beyond the reach of the court, because the court deals with a matter that are strictly the law and the legal arguments, and the public protector is mainly on the community and is there as the middle person for the legislature, for the community, and for the executive, while the court is mainly on the issues that are brought before them and where there are sanctions. And the public protector, there's no sanction. So I think where I am, it won't be difficult for me to be in this office of the public protector. It's the highest office, it's independent, and where I am also, I'm independent, and I have that authority. And when I have that authority, even when you come to court, you bow and you respect me. Hence, I have to respect myself and also have integrity and respect human rights and respect every person who comes before court.
Is bowing a sign of respect?
Pardon?
Yes. Is bowing a sign of, taking a bow, a sign of respect?
It's called decorum.
And you did not
It's
bow.
only,
you did not bow before me.
It's only the.
You did not bow before us. Okay. No, that wasn't just. Okay. Thank you very much. You started as a cleaner.
Yes.
And a tea lady, and in the early 90s, you worked yourself up to where you are now as a magistrate. It's
Yes.
impressive, right? And I think we should note that. How did you achieve it?
Okay. Where I come from, I'm coming from Soweto. I was not raised with a silver spoon. It was a harsh conditions. And I wanted to be different. When people were going to dancing being on the street, I decided to be a friend with the book. And in my bedroom, I used to put, by that time it was Advocate Musineke and Advocate Mujangu, and I was still in Standard 8, I think. And I said I want to be like them, and I aimed for it. And I wanted to set an example to my friends and to those who are coming after me, that it doesn't matter where you come from, you can still make it. And the reason why I've been in that place where I was a tea lady, I knew that it's not going to be my place, but I needed to start there, to feel it, to know what it's like. But my aim, I knew that it's just a passing through to my destiny, and I'm never going to be in that. I'm going to be a middle class, or I'm going to be someone, but not a clergy. Yes.
Do you confirm the disclosures you made in your questionnaire?
Yes, I did.
Is there anything else you want to disclose or add?
Nothing.
Thank you very much. You are now going to have an opportunity with the colleagues on my right. Each will have up to 8 minutes with you. Is that correct?
Okay.
Thank you very much. Colleagues, let's then move in the same order. And I will start with Honorable Mainali Soma. Thank you.
No, thank you very much, Chair, and good morning, Advocate Letwaba. Thanks, Chair. You would have identified one of the key challenges that South Africa is confronted with is unemployment. What do you, I'm speaking up, and we want to sit. Thank you. Yeah, thanks so much, and no, I appreciate your kindness, Honourable Member. What do you think are the key reasons for the structural unemployment that we have? May I repeat it, Chair, because I was a little bit
Yes.
like... Yes.
I'm asking you to be on the mic. So
If you just come closer to the mic, she has some hearing problems because she did not, she forgot her hearing support. What? Oh, okay.
Minus, so plus 5 minutes on. Thank you very much, Chair. And good morning, Advocate Letwaba. Chair, you would understand, ma'am, that South Africa has got a high rate or a challenge of unemployment. With your appreciation of the structural challenges that we have, what will be your advice as to how do we change the structural eco-social outlook of South Africa?
okay. Okay, unemployment is one of the socio-economic issues that we have in South Africa. And as a public protector, like when I started my introduction, I said the public protector is like a middle person. A public protector is there to give a voice to the voiceless, not only for the legislature, the executive, and the judiciary, and the Chapter 9 institutions and the organs of state, but for the public as well. So the public protector also play an inquisitorial role, meaning he is flexible. He can even go to the community and talk to the community. Like sometimes in Soweto and where I come from, Rama Mabulo Mshate, they have these things of imbizo. She can use that platform and educate them and advise them to be business people, to emancipate themselves, especially women,
No, thank you very much, Chair.
not to rely only on the government.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Unfortunately, I've got limited time,
Okay,
which is
sorry.
8 minutes. I'm not pressing you to cut you off. How would you position Public Protector South Africa to enhance oversight of the legislator or legislators, legislative mandate and parliament? How would you enhance oversight?
Okay, we have this thing called separation of powers or doctrine of separation of powers, where each and every, or let me call it the arms of government, the legislature has its own function, the judiciary has its own function, and the executive has its own function. So the public protector is there to oversee and to assist the legislature so that when they do budget and or maybe they discuss laws or whatever, at least they know where to go, what to debate, because the public protector is assisting by giving them information, the reports that they will be getting, and that it is an overseer to check whether they do things right. It's called check and balance. As long as she is cautious not to trenched the function of the other where she does not belong.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
No, thank you very much. Just a quick one, Chair. That haven't studied the case law against or towards public protector case law. What mechanisms or strategies that you would employ if you get appointed to ensure that you speed up the turnaround without compromising the quality of the output or the findings of the public protector? Thank you.
Okay. With the 8 minutes I have, I don't know
me
if
and
it
you,
will
we
be
share.
enough. I will be fast in a point form. I will start with to check that we don't do cases that are over 2 years. That is Section 6(9) of the Public Protector Act. Because if we have those cases, you might find that we are not going to go anywhere with them because they might be, if we need the witnesses, they might forget, and some they might not be found. And it can waste resources because it can end up wasting resources. Number two, I will make sure that in cases of Section 7(9), I make sure that when I do it, I do provisional report first so that I can give it to whoever is affected and that person to know that there will be remedial action taken against him.
Thank you.
And then he will then, I'm going to give him time to respond. That we call it the audi alteram partem rule.
Okay. No, thank you very much. You'll segment them, you'll prioritize them. Having said that, what is your understanding of the role of the public protector in respect of requirements of the Executive Members' Ethics Act?
Okay, public protector in the Executive Members Act. I think it is the only office where it can, English, is the only office where it can conduct this ethics. Sure, I know it.
That's fine. Take it easy. There is water before you. You just take a, just breathe in and breathe out. You'll indicate if you're fine.
The
fine?
public protector, whenever the executive member is not doesn't do the code of ethics properly, then he will then step in for him to be accountable, but he cannot make remedial action, but he can write recommendation to the parliament about that particular executive member, because it is the function of the National Assembly, the Speaker, who has to conduct that code of ethics if it was, yes, if it was pitched. It is not the function of the public protector. She will be trenching. Hence, the public protector, she needs to know her mandate. Even when she's doing the overseeing, she needs to be wise enough to know her mandate so that she cannot make other people angry due to her action, because even herself, it will be there. It will be a misconduct on her part. And the ethics code is together with the Public Protectors Act. They usually go together.
Thank you very
Okay.
much, Chair.
No,
and
thank you very
Advocate.
much,
I think it would be fair to other members because they did indicate her limitations. Thank you.
Yes, no, she did. That's the reason why I gave just 1.5 minutes extra. Thank you very much. Was just to take that situation into account. All right, we now move to Advocate Bredenbach.
Thank you, Honourable Chair. Good morning, Madam.
Morning.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
You say in your questionnaire, amongst challenges, you say, I identified key challenges being that of socio-economic issues, inflation rate, fuel levy, repo rate, price tag of food is high, and affect value-added tax regardless of class, infrastructure, and to name a few, service delivery. And then you suggest that the public protector needs to deal with these issues. Could you explain to me what you meant by that, please?
Oh, okay. That one, I was just giving an example about, okay, I gave scenarios in my questionnaire, if you can see. Those scenarios, case scenarios, they are coming from that because I didn't want to, it was a lot. So what I meant is section 182(4). It allows the public protector to be accessible to the community. And where I come from, I spoke about, I put myself in Soweto. I know that people are not keen to know about the interest rates. They are not keen to know about what is happening around them. And it hurts me because they run to do picketing and looting and blame the government, and yet they have TV. Instead of watching the governor talking about interest rate, they watch Uzalo that has gang-related things, and they don't learn anything. So the public protector will be there, we must be there to educate them so that they must not be like this. They must be objective and be an asset in this country, take part, because democracy is for everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.
Leaders fought for us, even as we must continue with that legacy.
Thank you very much. And then, in your view, to what extent is an administrative decision susceptible to review under the South African constitutional order?
What?
To what extent is an administrative decision susceptible to review in the South African constitutional order?
Okay. Any decision is subject to review when a person was biased, if it's the right English. When the person when by the time he uses discretion, it was not him, it was somebody else's discretion. It is supposed to be him using the discretion, not somebody else. And when it prejudices the other party, and when the procedure was not followed properly, when it was supposed to be followed, and when its prejudice procedure was not followed, biasness, and did not exercise discretion, somebody else exercised on his behalf, was taking favors. I think it would fall under biasness.
Thank you. And then
Yes.
finally, do I have time, Chair?
He doesn't know.
Thank you. What do you understand under the principle of legality?
Oh, I remember my lecture with that one. Is nullum sine, is nullum crime sine lege.
What does that mean?
It means where there is no law, you cannot punish.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
I wanted to take it further, but it's fine.
She is fine, she's done. We're now going to move to Honorable Mawoto. She's just directly opposite you.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning, Advocate. Are you well?
Yes, I'm well.
So I see you are currently writing a book on gender violence.
Yes.
What is the name of the book?
Joy comes in the morning.
And you've been writing it for how long?
I finished writing it, and I paid. And they gave it to me, and it was having mistakes. And I was not happy about it. And then I returned it because they wanted to launch it. I couldn't launch a book with grammatical errors. When I gave them this project, I thought they are better than me because they are the company. But it came, they cut my face like this instead of my full face. Yes.
I see. Talking about grammatical errors, The questionnaire that was sent to you, did you personally complete it?
Yes, I will tell you. Okay, I was going to tell you after because I didn't want to corrupt your mind, all of you. I was coming from church. I can't forget. It was on the 20, not coming from church. It started when I was watching TV. And I think it's Mr. Kaba was questioned by the media, by CNTV. And then he said, the people that we scored, they gave us questionnaire and the CV. We scored them according to what we have. And I was surprised. Questionnaire? What questionnaire? Because I didn't get questionnaire. Oh, maybe that's why I got 2. But they didn't tell me about questionnaire. Then it happened that I go to church after 2 days of Mr. Kaba's announcement on that. It was at 5 o'clock because a prayer starts at 6. Then I received a call that, Ms. Ledwaba, we've been looking for you. I tried to send something. Did you receive questionnaire? I said, what questionnaire? The questionnaire that we sent to people, it's needed today. And I said, Booty, I am in church. And then now it's 5 o'clock, you need questionnaire, it's a load shading. My place, when I left, it was a transformer died somewhere, it was dark. Run back, there's a load shading, I'm in church. Do you expect me to give you whatever you want to give me now? How? I'm going to send it by email. Do you have my email? No. Okay, do you want my email? Yes. Okay, I'll give you my email, but I won't give you the questionnaire now. I'm in church. Then he gave me the questionnaire. He sent me the questionnaire, and then I didn't sit well in church. Then I took my bag and I went to my sister's house. Then she said she doesn't have a laptop. Then I round around looking for someone who can assist me. Then I decided to go to Randburg. Randburg, the lights are still dark. Then I told her that I'll give you Friday. And then Friday, Thursday, I was on leave. I don't have a laptop with me. I used the internet one. They are about to close. I did everything in a hurry. Yeah. And then I sent to Postnet immediately.
I see. So, Mr. Kaba, you saw him on TV?
Yes.
Does he look like any one of us here in this room?
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Let's continue. Now, what is interesting, maybe it explains why there's so many grammatic errors on your questionnaire. So in your questionnaire, you mentioned that, can I have chair? Can I be protected? You mentioned that you craft strategic plan for your office that aims to foster relationship with stakeholders.
Yeah, that one.
And then you go and list the stakeholders, and then you say, including Chapter 9 institutions.
Yes.
And then you say, example of a Chapter 9 is Home Affairs.
Yes,
How is Home Affairs a Chapter 9 institution?
It's not. Home Affairs is an organ of state. It's a government.
But
it's not Chapter 9. That, you know what? I wrote quickly and I sent because they said it's needed. I'm the one who's supposed to blame all of you here because you did not give me, like others, in time so that I can pay attention.
Okay.
So I made grammatical error, but I pay attention
and wrong examples
to details.
As well.
Pardon?
And wrong examples, because here you are very clear that example, it's on page 4. Example, Department of Home Affairs.
Yes, that one, it's a wrong example. I wanted to say another thing, and later when I opened. After four to 5 days, I've realized and I said, okay, it's done, it's done.
All right, let's carry on. My time was taken by the explanation about Mr. Clark.
Okay.
Over the past 3 years, have you written a judgment by yourself, and how long did it take for you to write down a judgment?
I write judgment every day.
Yeah.
We have this thing of case flow management. We are not supposed to have a judgment for 3 months. I don't know if there are those who have it after 3 months, but we are strictly monitored. We have a good manager who's strictly monitoring us, and we've got this thing called the MC15. And we've got a way of tracking our judgments. So whenever I have a case, let's say it's civil, I have a case, I will have my own turnaround time. That, okay, it will be trial. Then when they postpone for argument, I don't have a problem. It's their baby. But when I postpone for judgment, I make sure that I give it maybe 2 weeks. You know why? Because I don't want to forget it. It's still fresh. But if I prolong, I'm going to forget it. So that is why, for me, weekend, you know, when you are a magistrate, you don't only work Monday to Friday. You are there for the public. You gave yourself. So you can even go to work if you don't have a laptop and do the judgment. And when you give them a day that this time is the judgment and they don't come, at least yours is ready. Yes.
Would you support the call for the banning of alcohol advertisements, including the legislation itself?
Oh, that one, ma'am. I don't want to be political, but I'm going to answer you like I'm a revolutionist. When I stay at Rantendal, it's a suburb. When I go there, or when I go to Midrand or anywhere, do I see alcohol? No. I see the adverts that have, you know, that will uplift you. You'll see the advert of a business, the advert of Miss South Africa. But when you go to Soweto, the first thing you enter, what you see? An alcohol. As if we are the alcoholic people. What do you, I mean, what are we bringing? What nation are we bringing? You know, it's painful because every Friday, I cannot even take something and say, I want to go to my mom's place and finish my book. 1, 2, 3 is bomb blast next door. Ziyaduma.
Yeah.
So this is the culture we are creating, because you are telling these children that it is good to drink. When they watch TV, alcohol, alcohol, alcohol everywhere. Savannah makes you dry. What is it that you are going? I mean, they are not learning anything. We are creating problems to ourselves. They start with alcohol and they graduate to something bigger, like drugs, to make them, you understand? And the alcohol is a problem even in a family. Yes. I don't want to go further.
Now, I've given you an injury time. Honorable Inkosi Terezi.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. And I bow before the magistrate. I'm just having 3 questions, only 3. They are very short. how do you deal with stress or pressure? Rather put it like, how do you deal with pressure at work?
Okay, as you've seen maybe somewhere in my CV, if it's there, I'm a Christian. Whenever I have a problem, personally, that is eating me, is killing me, I pray. And I will talk to God. And when I say amen, I'm okay. Because if you have stress, it's because you...
I know you've answered
Okay.
me, yes.
All right.
So you just pray, and when you say amen, it's over.
Yes.
Do you sometimes consider professional help?
Even professional help you can, if you can see that you are not coping.
Okay,
It's
thank
not
you.
wrong to do that.
Okay.
Because you are helping yourself and others around you.
Okay. My second question, how do you deal with your own weaknesses at work?
Okay. Weakness. Sometimes a weakness can be
Yes.
your strong point,
Yes, I know, yes.
and sometimes it can expose you if it's
Yeah, how do you deal with it?
um,
You are aware that you are weak on this.
Okay.
How do you handle that?
I don't hide it,
Okay.
because if I do, I'm not going to get help. I will talk about it.
Okay.
It's then I will get help and improve. You might find that maybe someone has a weakness like that, but he had a way to deal with it.
Okay.
Yes.
That's fine. My last question. Are you a social activist?
Yes.
Okay.
Social activist, the way I understand,
Yeah, that
maybe
way.
it's not the way you understand me,
I
the
think
way I
it's the way
understand.
we both understand it. Are you a social activist?
Yes, because
Okay.
why I'm saying I'm a social activist, in my spare time, I like to educate. Like, we have this thing now that is becoming a challenge in our country, is gender-based violence. Is the issue close to my heart. And when there are men's conferences, I go there and I talk about it, because men, the way they were taught, it's like they were not taught to respect a woman. And they need to be taught how to handle us.
Okay, no, that's
Yes.
fine, thanks. I'm okay, Chair, thank you.
Honorable Vassals,
That's a strange order. Thank you, Chairperson. Good, are we in the afternoon already? No, good morning.
I'll come back, sure. Yes, you may continue. They were just correcting me that I've jumped Honorable Horn, but you may go ahead.
Thank you. Now, just a quick question. With regards to remedial action, as you know, the Public Protector makes an order for remedial action in a report. But there is a challenge where organs of state do not implement the remedial action. How will you deal with that if you are the Public Protector?
Okay, that question, I think I will have lots of precedent for it. When I'm talking about precedent, I'm talking about the remedial actions that were taken by the other public protectors. Like, for an example, the remedial action. Okay, let me talk about case so that I can get the answers than to be brought. In the case of Nkandla case, they said that a Chief Justice Mogoeng said that remedial action is unfettered and situational and is binding and it's reviewable and can be set aside. And is reviewable and set aside when the public protector did not do the remedial action that is within his mandate. He stepped out of the boundary. Like, for an example, the case of President 2020, I think it's 2020, and the EFF and the Madam Speaker, yeah, there are various cases. I'll just touch. There was a remedial action that the Parliament must amend Section 224. That one, if they refuse to implement, then I have to know that I've stepped out of the boundaries because it's not within my mandate to amend the constitution or piece of legislation or whatever. My mandate is specifically stated in Section 182 and even in the Legislative of Public Protector Act. And there was another remedial action that said, I think it was for the Code of Ethics, that the executive member to be held accountable. And the speaker stepped in and said that it is not within your powers. It is not your function. It is the function of the National Assembly. But the remedial action of Nkandla was the Commission of Inquiry to be conducted. And Chief Mogoeng said that one is the one that has to be binding because it is within. And he also spoke, there was a remedial action about discretionary. Then Chief Mogoeng said, the discretionary one, it is not part of the separation of powers that she can handle in the remedial action. But no one must force the president. It is within his discretion. Hence it says discretionary powers. It is his discretion. And there is no case law that says the president must be forced. So those kind of remedial action, you cannot implement something that is not in good faith. You cannot implement something that is unlawful. You cannot implement something that is out of the powers of the public protector. You'll be assisting the wrong things in the public protector.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Chair.
I'm sorry, I got absorbed in the engagement that I lost track. Let me retrace my steps. I then go back to Honorable Hlapfe. Thank you very much. And then Honorable Horn afterwards.
Thank you, Chair. I think we are rattled because we are seen on TV by the candidate. Good morning, Mayor Ledwaba, Your Worship. You are currently a magistrate for about
permanent.
5 years. And it's my belief that in the judiciary, you are also placed in a position that allows you to resolve various disputes, criminal acts. Why would you want to leave your current position?
Oh, okay. I am passionate to dispense justice. The judiciary, it's not like the public protector. Judiciary I'm a magistrate in court. I handle dispute, but I cannot take it as far as that outside. Like, let me tell you an example. Let's say I deal with a case of eviction, and I can see that, hey, this people, they are in a mess. But I, the magistrate, I'm there to listen to both parties, to the evidence that is before me. And I make decision and I end there, because I don't have to be in favor, or I am confined to the law, not to the public, like their life or whatever. I'm there, I do the law, from there I take my gown, I go to my chamber, and that's it. And when you come to me, you come with the security or with the police officer. I want to be a voice of the voiceless, but where I am, I can't. It's a sanction where I am. Where I am, I put a person to jail, but what makes this person to be in jail? That socio-political issues, I can't deal with it. I'll be stepping out of my boundary. I will be disciplined.
Thank you. Now, on page 8 of your questionnaire, on the motivation why you are a suitable candidate, you are alleging that the office of the public protector has largely been focusing on high-profile cases. I want to know from you, because these high-profile cases also comes from complainants. If you are appointed, how are you going to handle high-profile cases?
You are handling them. It doesn't mean you don't, but you know, me, when I watch TV, to be honest, you know, they say a public protector is accessible to the community, but I've never seen something moving me that was done by the public protector to the community. Let me tell you why. Last year when I was nominated, that period, I went to so many young people and I asked them, do you know what is public protector? No. Do you know what is legal aid? Yes, it's in Maponya. They know legal aid. They know everything, but public protector, no one knows. Believe me, few people knows public protector.
Okay. My last question, Advocate, what is your understanding of independence within the context of public protector, and how will you make sure that you are independent in your duties if you are appointed?
Okay. To that one, I'm going to explain it in two scenarios or whatever. We have financial independence, and we have independent in section 181 of the Constitution. Let me start with this one of 181. 181 says that the public protector is independent and is strengthening constitutional democracy. And all the organs of state should support the office of the public protector or the public protector, so that the public protector can do her mandate without fear, prejudice,
Or favor,
without
fear, favor.
fear, favor, and prejudice, and investigate into maladministration, improper conduct, proprietary, and
How will you achieve being independent if you get
yes,
appointed?
I'm coming to that one also. Remember, I said two. Now there's this thing called financial independence. For the public protector to achieve that, must, you know, when you are a child at home, you can't achieve anything if you are not independent. You need to be independent. Step out from the parents and start doing things.
At what
And
age?
so even the public protector must have that independence, that I am now independent. I can do it. I can open an office. I can start this. But that independence, he must have a budget. And he must be allowed to defend that budget in the parliament. Because she cannot always run to the mother body when he wants to do something in the office, when he wants to do a project. He must be independent,
Thank you, Your
be
Worship.
able to do all those projects.
Thank you, Your Worship.
Thank you very much. Honorable Hon, you have full 8 minutes.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. Good afternoon, ma'am. I want to go back to your answer about how you will manage caseload, and you indicated that you will use the provisions of the Public Protector Act dealing with cases older than 2 years. You remember that? You answered about that. You spoke about that.
Yes.
Does the law totally prohibit the public protector from dealing with cases older than 2 years?
No. It is the discretion of the public protector, but must use this discretion wisely. When there is a case of over 2 years, must analyze it, look at it, and see if it's wanting, if it can proceed with it, if it can have a good remedial action or good report. Because you know what? The public protector must also protect her integrity. She mustn't take anything because it will cripple her. She must be on a fact-finding mission. Is it worthy to do this? Because it will also cripple the resources of the public protector and the funds if she's not wise. So she needs to be wise.
Okay.
So it is her discretion.
Okay, so in your initial responses on that issue, you talked about witnesses that become unavailable, or maybe it's difficult to get a hold of them. So I want to ask you, irrespective now of whether the matter is older than 2 years or not, any matter, when is it acceptable for the public protector not to ensure that material witnesses are interviewed as part of an investigation?
Can you repeat that so that I can get it?
Okay. So, in any matter, whether it is now 2 years older or whether it happened 6 months ago or 3 months ago, when is it acceptable for a public protector to close an investigation without listening to a material witness?
Okay. There are things that a public protector cannot do. Like when a person is in the public service or is under the Public Service Act, and that person did not exhaust the remedies available to her, and she ran to public protector. So when the public protector received that on the first initial phase, receiving that complaint, going through it and realize that this person, I mean, is a person from NPA, for an example, or from DTI, and did not exhaust, and is a public servant, then he can give advice, not close just like that. He give advice and give the reason why he's closing it, that you did not exhaust remedies. And again,
Okay, can I rephrase my question?
okay, maybe, yeah,
If you're acting as a magistrate
yes,
and the NPA fails to call a witness, it is on their head.
okay.
You find on the basis of the evidence put in front of you as a magistrate. How will it be different if you're the public protector and you're dealing with an investigation?
Yeah, it will be different.
Explain to me how.
Yes, because public protector, if he sees that the witness that is crucial is not there, then she has to subpoena that witness to come. And then when that witness comes, then there will be an oath, then he will then, that the witness will then say whatever that he's saying, and then cross-examine. And then if he wants a legal representative, and then he will get a chance for legal representative. If he wants copies of the documents, they will make it available to him. He cannot just close it without giving the other party a chance, because maybe he did not know that he's supposed to be there if it's a witness. Unlike for magistrate, it is an adversarial position. I deal with what is in front of me, and if the plaintiff or the applicant did not bring, I'm talking about civil now, if he didn't bring his witness, I'm not going to tell him to bring his witness. It is his own failure. I'm not there to assist the attorney or the other party. I'm there to adjudicate on the case. What is before me, then I make decision. But public protector is got proactive role. He's not concentrating on what he has. Okay, let me say it quickly, taking you back to the time when the public protector was established. It was in the form of ombudsman. Other countries, like Botswana and other countries, they had ombudsman. So South Africa liked it, and they started to copy from there, and they had ombudsman. And when I read, it was like a public protector, Botswana, something like that, was the first public protector. And it was the interim constitution made ombudsman. But before that, there was legal scholars who came together and said, we need this ombudsman thing so that it can take a proactive role and investigate the maladministration. Then it became, in the interim, it became a public protector. And then even in the new constitution of 1996 was a public protector. It's where you will find the powers conferred to the public protector in section 181 and 182. That shows that he's taking an active role, not like a magistrate.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, Honorable Hon. Okay, right. We'll now take Honorable Mananiso, over to you.
Thank you, Chairperson. Okay, Mamela Dwabo, okay? One good. All right. My first question is relating to issues of Chapter 9 institutions. One good, Reno?
Yeah.
All right. I'm saying my first question is in relation to Chapter 9 institutions, as you know their role. I want you to indicate to me, to say what are the gaps between the Chapter 9 institutions and key departments that actually works on issues of civil rights that you as a magistrate could have identified as you are working with other stakeholders.
Your question is broad. I don't get it. Start it again, I'm sorry.
Okay. My question is, you understand the role of Chapter 9 institutions, right? And what is the gap that in your workspace, as a person who've been working with different stakeholders, you can say this is what you have identified as a gap between your Chapter 9 institution and key department that deals with civil rights organizations?
Okay. Let me give an example about human rights. Human Rights Commission is a Chapter 9 institution.
Sure.
Ne? And it's court, ne? And it's the person who comes in my court, ne? I will give example about eviction. Let me give you eviction. They come and say, okay, the applicant is applying to evict the defendant, ne? And then as a magistrate, I'm going to agenda, and I'm going to go to my chamber and look at, is it eviction a human rights issue? And if it's a human rights issue, what is it that is being violated? Okay? I'm going to be on a fact-finding mission now. Here's the case. I took notes. Okay. Are there children here? Are there minor children in the house? That's the first question that I have to ask myself. A woman, is she employed? How many of them? What's happening? Then if they are just evicting, and they are just evicting women with children, I'm going to go back and I said, did you look at, because now the human rights, it will guide me. Then I'll say, did you look at the alternative accommodation for them before you evict them? Because otherwise it's going to be a socio-economic issue again, because they are going to be homeless and they are going to be a problem on the street. Whose problem? Us, all of us. Then human rights will say, but children cannot be on the street like this. You understand? It becomes now two organs of state. No. It becomes a Chapter 9 and the court that now have to work together to make sure that there's justice for both parties.
Okay. So my question was with regards to the gaps.
Gap.
So we still have a gap in terms of silo working relations of Chapter 9 institutions
Yes.
and the department. So if you were to be appointed the PP, what is it that you can bring to the table as one of the mitigation remedial actions to deal with that?
You want the remedial action?
Yes, to deal with the gap that In what I was asking you, it's with regards to the challenges that we
Okay,
have.
now I understand. Remember I told you about every chapter 9 or whatever, they have their own functions. So I will make the recommendation with what is within my mandate, if it's there. But if not, I will then write a recommendation just to advise that I see a problem here, and I think Human Rights Commission will be able to deal with this issue in this particular manner. But I won't encroach on their function.
All right.
Yes.
Mema Ledwaba, if you were to be appointed today, to say tomorrow you are the PP, what are your special projects that you would say, this is what I'm bringing to South Africans?
Okay. My special project will be don't laugh at me with something that I'm going to say. I'm going to create something called quality assurance or review quality assurance unit, where when the case comes, a complaint comes in the early inception. No, let's not start there because I'm starting wrong. Quality assurance unit, it will be there to assess if there is compliance, number one. I will make sure that I create a person who will be an assessor or a quality assessor to check the files of the investigating officers, whether they complied before they go to whoever who will be dealing with them. In that, let's say I will tell him to create a checklist. In that checklist, to tick the things that are there and to tick the things that need attention, and to see if ever everything is being complied with in terms of the investigation guideline. I will create the guideline. You know why I'm saying this is because when I read the structure, I realized that the office has people has the investigators from SIU, from NPA, lawyers, advocates. Yes, they don't have forensic investigators, they don't have financial investigators. So I will make a divert team to have those who are very skillful, and they will deal with that guidelines, how to come up with a structure of guiding when the complaint comes from the first inception until the final product. Until the final product. And another thing, because you are saying, what is it that I will do? This thing of Section 194, it became a scary thing to most of the people of the removal, because it's not something that we expected in the highest office like public protector. So what I will do is to find where did we go wrong and how to learn and to rectify, so that the office so that I bring back the integrity of the office.
Okay.
And
I think you have answered.
I'm not. Oh.
Yeah. Then my question to you is, what
I
is...
still want to pursue it. I allowed the injury time mainly to support her to finish her input, not for the next for more question. I know you still want. I know your time got taken up because of the lengthy responses.
Yes, Chair, but can I just ask
No, you
the
can
last
do it.
question?
Just do it quickly.
Okay. All right. My question to you is, what is your understanding in terms of fit for purpose? Then I'll be done.
In terms of
Fit for purpose.
fit for purpose.
Yes.
Fit for purpose.
Yeah, fit for purpose.
Fit for purpose. Okay. You have to be fit and proper. Ne? You have to be fit and proper. And you must not be in shady dealings. Ne? And you must be a person who act in good faith all the time and who uphold the law and who is honest in all your dealings, who is clean.
I think you've answered the question very well. Now, I was saying you've answered the question, and we now move to the next question. Is the last questioner, Honorable Janji?
Thank you, Chair. Melidwala, can you hear me?
Yes.
Thank you. You are a magistrate currently. Is it acting magistrate or permanent magistrate?
Permanent.
Where?
Run back.
Go run back. Could you just tell me this about that office that you are in? Do you have any part-head matters? Yes or no?
I have two.
You have two?
Yes.
Why?
Because we are rotating. Let's start there. This year, I only accumulated two because I just started in civil now. Where I was at debt review. We are rotating. When you are in debt review doesn't accumulate part head.
That's fine. So when are you concluding those part-head matters? Two of them.
Two of them.
That you said you have
Okay,
two.
the other one is for judgment, is coming on the 31st. On the 31st of this month.
Okay.
And then the other one is coming on the 12th. Something like that. Yeah.
You have no date for it.
I think it's 12 or 13. I'm not sure about the date, but I don't have a diary. But I think because we've changed that date, let me tell you why. I took a leave, ne? I took a leave. And then when they called me to tell me that you did not come, it's because I was robbed. 6 men came in the house with a gun.
Okay.
And I didn't go to work. My boss came and he said he will postpone.
Let's pause there.
Yes.
Let's pause there. Why were you transferred from Klerksdorp to Randbeck?
Krugersdorp.
Krugersdorp to Randbeck?
Yes. Thank you so much.
Why were you transferred?
Yes. I have issues about my disability. I was not accommodated.
Yes.
And I fought. I really fought hard. And then I wrote to the commission. I told them that I'm not happy. And I am not, where I was, I can say diversity was a problem.
Okay. I
Yes.
get you are not accommodated. My next question. During your time, whether it was in Klerksdorp or where you are now, is there any judgment of yours that was taken on review?
It's judgments that were taken on appeal, not review, appeal. And my judgments were upheld.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. You've answered me there. In your court, do you have any backlogs?
No, maybe it will start now because I just started in civil
Okay.
last month.
Thank you. So, just in average, even though cases are different, just
You were coming okay now, your voice is
because now we are
okay.
yeah, just in average, just in average in terms of I know cases are different. So what would have been your longest case that you handled as a magistrate?
Yes, it was. I had a longest case in maintenance.
Why?
The respondent, was in somewhere in London, I forgot where. And he was giving us problems to come. He was a director at Dubai. He's not London. He was a director at this big bank in Dubai. And it was like, maybe he was undermining the court because he was extremely rich, but he was kept on giving us the dates that he's not available. He will be available on this day.
Okay.
Yes. And finally he came. But
So how long did that take? How long, without us going into the details of it, how long did that take? You can't remember.
Not judgment, just for the two of them. It took, I think, because you know what? The postponement.
No. How long did it take? How long did it take? Uskayamo, how long did it take?
I can say the average, it can be 3 months.
No, you can't say average. You know this case. This is a particular case, this maintenance.
3 months.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay. And your quickest case, how long did it take?
My quickest case?
Yeah. One case that you did in record time.
In record time?
You never had that.
Yeah, I did. It's domestic. Domestic, I do it in record time because.
Which is what? Is it 1 day? Is it 1 day? Is it 1 day?
Look, if ever a person. Yes, it's 1 day.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Domestic is 1 day.
No, thank you. Now, my next point. So, before I go to my next point, so starting with the apartheid and others.
Yes.
Do you know that what you're applying for, we have thousands of complaints and backlogs. So, if you're not able to complete 2 part heads, how do you wish that you would be able to handle this job?
Oh, maybe you don't understand our role. Let me explain.
No, don't. I understand the role because there's a norms and standards that controls your role.
Heads,
yes.
The part heads are not from the magistrate. No. My thing that I deal with, Mina, is judgment. I am in control of the judgment. Part head is Nina. The defendant and the applicant.
But it's your case.
Just like when you are a prosecutor, there you are dominus litis, you can control. But I am a magistrate.
All right.
These people, they will tell you that, Your Worship, we are not available on this day. I am in Lusikisik.
Okay.
I'm going to have a matter there. Should I force them to come to court?
No, let's pause there so that we don't go to Lusikisik. Now, you were scary before. You were scared before about some removal. Do you know that magistrates are removed by this National Assembly from office? Have you never heard of a magistrate being removed?
Oh,
you did.
Okay. Can I say something about that? And I apologize if maybe I hurt your feelings.
No. We're talking about magistrates. We're talking about magistrates.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Magistrates are removed.
Okay.
Yes.
Does that scare you?
Judges are removed.
Does that scare you? It doesn't.
No, it doesn't scare me, but it troubles us because it's one of our members and is being removed, and you will want to know more about it. You understand, so that you may not fall into the same trap.
Some magistrates have been removed because they're involved in bribery and other things. Would it be wrong to remove them?
No.
Okay.
At least they will show us that when you go there, this is what it will happen.
Thank you,
Yes.
Magistrate Lidwaba. I yield back, Chair. Thank you.
Right, colleagues. Makwanisha, you want to do one or two questions? All right.
Good afternoon, Magistrate Lidwaba. Loud, okay. Can you hear me now?
Don't worry, I'm going to have hearing aids soon. Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. Good afternoon.
You okay? Yes.
People who criticize you, what do they criticize you about?
If you want to criticize me,
Yeah, generally, most people who criticize you, what do they focus on?
okay, when I was at the university, I'll start you from there. They used to call me fast move, and I didn't like it because I walk fast and I do things fast, but I pay attention to details. And sometimes my lecturer will check me thoroughly because he wouldn't understand why I finish early in the exam. So in my line of profession now, they give us default judgments every week. Every Monday, we get 32, sometimes we get 12, sometimes we get 18. And the most, I am not bad chatting anyone, but most they pile them. I'm not that kind. When I get default judgment, I hate procrastinating. When I get default judgment and I know that I can work while eating, there's no stress. I do my default during lunchtime, and I'll do my default even after work, and I'll tell myself that I'll leave at 5 instead of at 4, and I push. And come Thursday, I'm done. And Friday, I return them. And they criticize me about that, okay, before, my boss used to double check and double check and double check, thinking he will find something. And one day he found something, and I said, okay, I'm sorry, and then I will improve from that. But he later gave up because I finished. Criticize me, but you are going to criticize me about, are you the machine or what? It's how I am. I'm even when I clean at home and someone is cleaning and I see that he's cleaning slow, I will say, leave, I will clean. Then you criticize me that why are you not giving someone a chance? That's me. I don't like a slow person. A slow person, like a person who's very slow. I feel like she's delaying things, and that it's weakness. And when you criticize me, I take it, but I'm trying.
Are you still together?
I'm trying to learn.
Maybe you can do a follow-up now.
I'm trying to learn, and I'm trying to be like you, to be slow, but it's not me.
Okay, thank you very much. In your role as a public protector, there are two roles there. It's a role as the chief investigator, in quotes, and there is a role as an executive authority.
Yes?
An executive authority. How are you going to ensure that the two roles are in sync?
I heard about the executive role. The other one?
Makwanisha, if you could just come closer to the mic itself.
Okay.
Yeah. And then just closer, yes?
Yeah.
As if you're talking to it, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
So my apologies.
Yes.
I'm saying that in your role as a public protector, it's two roles in one. The first role is your role as your chief investigator, and the second role is your role as an executive authority. How are you going to ensure that the two roles are in sync? Are in sync?
Okay, by monitoring and evaluation. And again, it's a difficult question, but let me take my time. Ne?
Please do.
Yeah. Okay, the chief investigator's role is totally different from the executive role. Executive role is a management role. It's where you manage the whole unit to make sure that things are done according to the book. And the investigation role, it's a core unit, is the unit that brings work, is the unit that must be most trusted. So, as an executive manager, I'm going to oversee this investigation unit. I'm trying. It's a very difficult question.
It's not, you will not be an executive manager. You will be an executive authority.
Executive what?
You will be an executive authority.
Huh?
You will be an executive authority, not an executive manager. So you will have your CEO and your managers.
You still want to pursue it, Mokonishi?
No, I won't. No, I won't pursue it. But I'm 8 minutes. What's your color, manje?
No, you may continue. I wanted to check if you still want to pursue this slide.
No.
Okay, you may go on to the next question.
Okay. What are the 3 grounds of removing a public protector?
The scary part.
Dishonesty, misconduct. You are not impressed.
No, I'm listening. I'm listening. I'm listening.
You don't have to impress him. That's just
Okay, it's fine. What is the majority that is required to appoint a public protector?
Majority.
What is the majority in the House that is required to appoint a public protector?
I didn't check that, but I'm going to guess. I think it's 75.
Okay, no, it's fine. Can the National Assembly suspend the public protector?
Yes. The president will
I'm talking about the National Assembly.
Let me not be in a hurry. National Assembly. President.
The question, who has the power to suspend the public protector?
Who has the power?
Yeah, that is the question.
The president is the head of state. Okay? And then the speaker is the head of the National Assembly. And public protector is appointed there at the National Assembly, not at the executive level.
Yes,
so
correct.
it means it's the speaker.
All right. Yes. You've been answered.
Yeah.
Do you want to make a follow-up? Are you done? You're done.
Sure. Do you want me to be done?
No, I'm checking. Okay. I was checking if you still want to make another question.
No, it's fine, Chair. Thanks. Thank you, Ms. Litova.
Okay.
Thank you. Colleagues, Makonisho started at 12:13 and it's 12:21. So it was just within your 8 minutes. but I did not give you an injury time. Right. I see. All right, colleagues, I think we've come to the end of this interview. Ma'am, thank you very much for agreeing to come to this interview. And I'm sure you learned a lot, and we also learned a lot from you. And we wish you well back home. Thank you so much.